Hey, you're thinking about moving to Puerto Rico but have doubts? Let's dive into it. Welcome to Office Hours. My name is Victor Delerme. I'm a CPA, and today we're going to be talking about Puerto Rico, Act 60, and how to pay less taxes.
Do I need to hire local employees in Puerto Rico to maintain my Act 60 status?
The general rule of thumb is that your business needs to have a level of $3 million in revenues in order for you to be required to have employees in Puerto Rico. But then if you're moving to Puerto Rico and you are exporting your services out of Puerto Rico and you make less than $3 million, then in that case, you don't have to hire people unless your business requires to have employees that will be supporting your customers, your clients, and of course, yourself as a business owner.
I travel often for work. How long must I stay in Puerto Rico yearly to keep my tax incentives as an investor?
You're required to be in Puerto Rico for 6 months of the year. However, the residency requirements for business owners varies, right? Because you could have team members that are performing the work for the business in Puerto Rico, and you don't have to be there as much. Of course, you need to have a bona fide business establishment in Puerto Rico, and then you have team members that are performing the task, performing the work, helping you export the product or services. And then in that case, you as the owner, of course, you want to be there, but you don't have to be there 6 months out of the year like the individual investor would be. We have clients that are business owners, that are executives and travel all over the world, and they have operations in Puerto Rico, right? And they comply with having a bona fide business establishment in Puerto Rico, and they still travel, right? They have team members that are performing the task, performing the work that needs to be done in order for the services to be exported or the products to be exported. And then, of course, they keep on traveling. So the rules for business owners and the rules for investors, it's somewhat different.
What types of expenses are deductible under Act 60 for my business?
The important thing is that the expenses in your business are ordinary for the business to run. Marketing, advertising, office expenses, meals, office supplies, mentoring, coaching, all these are important expenses that you need to incur in order for you to run your business. So therefore, all these expenses would qualify for deductions under Act 60 in Puerto Rico.
Do I need to buy an office space or building to conduct business in PR with Act 60?
Ideally, if you want to make that investment and it serves the purpose for you to run your business and keep on expanding your business, of course, if it makes sense, right? It's not a requirement, however. You could start and grow your business just by having a office space that you can lease, right? Short term, and then you graduate into having a more long-term lease. And then, of course, if your business requires to have team members in the north of X amount of people in order for you to run your business out in Puerto Rico, and then you find good opportunities, of course, go ahead and buy a nice office building, a nice office space. There's tax incentives for business owners that buy real estate in Puerto Rico, right? There's exemption on property taxes and licenses. So if it makes sense for your business, of course, buy a building, buy office space, but it's not a requirement. We work with a professional service organization, a law firm that relocated to Puerto Rico. And they first started with having a small sublease even. And throughout the years, within 2 or 3 years, they kept adding space to their location. And now the owner owns multiple properties in Puerto Rico, right? So an entry point could be a sublease or office lease in order for you to have a bona fide establishment in Puerto Rico, which is what the rule calls for. And then eventually, as you see the business progresses and then the profits amount and then the tax savings keep on compounding, think about it. You're paying 4% year in, year out, right? So you're saving a lot of money. So might as well reinvest back in Puerto Rico, buy real estate, buy buildings, and keep expanding the business. Here at Delerme, we help our clients, business owners and individuals to relocate the business to Puerto Rico or relocate themselves as investors to Puerto Rico. So the rules are very, very interesting. They can be somewhat complex, right? But our goal is to simplify these rules for you. So be more than glad to give you a consultation and give you the information that you need if you want to relocate your business to Puerto Rico, export services or export products, or as an individual investor, if you're thinking about relocating to Puerto Rico. And that's it for today. My name is Victor Delerme. I'm a CPA, and we'll see you on the next one.